Hey everybody, Eric Schweitzer here. We are on location at Summer Games Fest Play Days. This is the end of day one. Here with Editor-in-Chief Stacey Henley.
Hello.
We're here to talk about what we saw today, a little bit.
Yeah, we can't talk about much because a lot of it's embargoed, but the stuff we can talk about is pretty good.
Yeah. Why don't you start? What did you see today?
Well, I think the first thing we can say is we saw Dragon Age. We can't talk about it until Tuesday, so I can't say any more.
Right.
But
we saw Dragon Age.
yeah, I can't even say I can't even say if I'm excited about it. But
Yeah.
It's Dragon Age. So I think the best thing that I saw today was Metaphor Fantazio. Don't really know. It is very Persona, which we expected. We knew it was going to be a lot of. We knew it was going to be a lot of the RPG magic stuff that Persona's got. We knew it was going to be a lot of the companions. I think what surprised me, because we know it has real-time combat, how much that's really just a setup for the turn-based stuff. It's still basically a turn-based companion squad game. A lot of style, like Persona has. A lot of personality in the graphics, which is always really cool to see. But I don't hate that it's Persona. But it is just Persona. I think probably the most interesting thing about it is the bad guys are all humans, but they're not just evil humans. They're kind of these weird fantastical creatures that they call humans. They're like 50 feet tall.
They're
they
like
have
titans.
they have octopus limbs, some of them.
Yeah.
They kind of like ripped apart biblical things. And obviously it takes place in this fantasy world, but they read a fairy tale in the game where they describe humans who work in offices and live in skyscrapers. So their fantasy is our reality. And I think that's something they could do something quite interesting with. But I think it's just Persona. You need to be prepared for the fact that Metaphor, it's a Persona game called a different name.
Yeah. I liked the big octopus guy. It was like an old man, but he was like a big squid man.
Yeah, they called him the giant sea homo.
They did.
Which I don't think is a name that's going to land as well with some people. Like all of the humans, because their humans are called homos.
Yeah.
I think that's going to become a meme pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think all the monsters are
I don't know
homos.
that they've thought that through perfectly, but you got to fight a lot of homos in this game.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do?
What about you?
Well, I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is Sonic and Shadow Generations, and the bad news is Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble. Where do we want to start?
Let's end on a good note. Let's start with why Super Monkey Ball was a disappointment, then we can get into how radical Sonic was.
I don't know if it was a disappointment, because... I mean, okay, let's start with the good things about Banana Rumble. It is got lots of different game modes. It's built for online, 16-player... online competitive, and it's got like 5 different game modes, I think. So you can race. There's some kind of fall guy kind of stuff. It's got a bunch of stuff you can do. The other thing is that the campaign, for the first time ever in Monkey Ball history, cutscenes.
Okay.
So they're bringing some personality to AA and Chi-Chi and whatever the heck their names are. All the monkeys. There's a helicopter. And yeah, so the story is about this. There's this new monkey. Her name's Palette. Okay. And she approaches our monkey heroes to tell them that she's looking for her father, who has been lost ever since he went looking for the great banana.
Okay,
yeah. And the legend is
like something a monkey would do.
Whoever finds the great banana is gifted a lifetime supply of nanners.
Okay, sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
so
again,
pretty much what you might expect
what a monkey would do
from Monkey Ball's story. So yes, I mean, Monkey Ball is not a series that evolves quickly. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
They've been doing remakes for so long. They actually haven't had a new Monkey Ball for like 10 years.
Really?
So this is the first like actual new game.
All right.
And it looks so bad. It looks so bad. It's unbelievable. It is GameCube, and we picked a really good spot for this.
Yeah.
People will defend the Switch to their dying breath about how the graphics don't matter. But I played this and then immediately played Sonic, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what a regular modern video game on the Switch looks like.
Yeah. And it's both Sega games as well, so it's not like one of the little indie game that just needs a little bit of help.
Yeah, it is just Jaggy City. Like, it is such an eyesore. And, like, Monkey Ball is very frenetic.
Yes.
Like, the screen is just, like, popping around like crazy, and especially in these game modes that aren't just forward. It's like you're in an arena and you're like, who can get the most
Yeah.
bananas?
We're glad
And the
it's so
camera's spinning around, and it just looks like a mess. It
Okay.
is, yeah. Anyway, so
So
Sonic.
here's our favorite games of the day. Go ahead, Sonic.
our favorite games we can talk about. Okay, so Sonic's great. I got to play.
That balances it out.
Yeah, I got to play 2 Sonic levels, which everybody's played before. It was the first 2 Green Hill zones, so classic Sonic and modern Sonic. Is that what we call them?
Yeah.
Um, and they were fast. The frame rate kept up. They're great levels. You know, it felt closer than I remembered. Like it was very tight. The camera was dynamic. At parts, it would pull out and then come back in, but
Okay.
it just felt. It was so close I couldn't. Maybe I'm getting old. That's probably what it is. I just couldn't tell what was coming at me.
They've
Okay.
done that in some of the modern Sonics, though, right? It's like Frontiers is the linear one's like pretty zoomed in.
Yes. Yeah. Frontiers? No, Frontiers is the open world one.
Yeah, but they have like the gem. levels.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. And then then I got to play 2 Shadow levels.
Okay.
So the first one was the Lost Ark Colony, the space stuff.
All right, sure.
But it wasn't. I think people were assuming that it was going to be Final Escape from Sonic Adventure 2, or when he goes back there in Shadow. It was not either of those levels. It was kind of both of them. But
Okay.
it was a new level, and the villain from Shadow is back. It has a new story, so it's like Shadow going through his memories.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if it's like time travel or if the bad guy's like in his head, but these are sort of reimagined famous Shadow levels. They're not just the originals updated.
Okay.
Um,
That sounds way. I'm not into Sonic.
Yeah.
Like you are. That sounds way more interesting than I was expecting for a Shadow game.
Yeah.
Reimaginings of old classics that might all be imaginings in his head.
yes, yeah, it has its own story. Generations had its own story too. It wasn't just like rehashes.
Yeah.
But then the second one was just the Bio-Lizard fight from Sonic Adventure 2. Like it was literally
It was just the same thing.
just the updated version of that. So yeah, I think both of those together. I know that people really want Sonic Adventure 2 remake, and this is like pulling pieces out of that game. But I don't know. It's better than nothing, right?
Yeah. When you start by saying it was great and you've ended on better than nothing, I feel like
I am
you've
still
talked
talking about
yourself-
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Sonic.
And they had Sonic milkshakes as well.
They did have
which
Sonic
we didn't
milkshakes.
end up having, but
Yeah.
because I didn't want a milkshake when I was in the heat all day.
Anything you're looking forward to for tomorrow / the rest of the weekend?
Yes, what I'm really looking forward to is I can finally talk about Dragon Age.
Yeah.
What have we got coming up? We've got some Capcom interviews. Xbox's big thing is tomorrow.
Yes,
we
we'll have
still
a lot
don't
to
really
talk
know
about.
what they're going to show off, so there'll be a lot of stuff there. And now it's going to be Call of Duty. But the other, I think I'm more interested in. I think Xbox's reveal is probably the big thing. And being surprised by some things. I think that's the good thing about these sort of events.
Definitely.
We saw some games today that I think were worse than we were expecting them to be.
Yep.
And I think we saw some that were better than certainly I expected them to be. And we saw some that met expectations. And I can't talk about Dragon Age. I can't tell which one of those 3 it is.
And that's gaming. All right, that's it for this video. We have so much Summer Games Fest / Xbox / Ubi, the whole smorgasbord is a word I never use. So check that out on the website. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell, and visit us at thegamer.com. That's The Gamer. No spaces.